Okay. My other life got cut. I don't know what happened. Just the whole system went down. So this is probably kind of glitchy. If it is, let me know, and I'll just make another another video and just upload it. The reason I like doing it this way is because it just looks better and it sounds better than when I do it with my own camera from my computer. But if it's glitchy, can you is it glitchy? That I'm like sound like a robot and I move like a robot. If you guys can see me right, my connection sounds stable. And I'm like, yeah, I can see you right. So why is giving me that? Well, okay. If it doesn't work, then I just upload it later. I wish I can actually know if it's coming through correctly. I don't have a way to prove it. Yeah, yeah. I'm going back to Evan Roger Wood because the more I look into it, the more things I listen to her interviews and his interviews, speaking about her and her many interviews and many articles of her speaking so fondly about him and how did he raise her and how did he um, inspire her to be the person she is and blah blah blah. How safe she felt with him, she felt so safe and blah blah. So there is endless amount of BS. It's not BS that she feels safe. I do believe that part. I do believe that when she said what she said about him, it was true. And something happened along the way, and then she decided to do this and create all this hot mess that she did and just drag the guy through the mud. And mind you, she still hasn't named the second person because let's pretend that he is guilty. She hasn't named the second person. And, in her video, um, the first deposition, her first statement, she talks about it. She says there's two. There's one that abused me while we were together that I was in love with. That's what she said. And the thing, oh, I didn't know I could get raped if I was in love and all that. But then she talks about the owner of a bar or the bartender, something like that. And don't you think that you need to name this guy because this guy is probably still out there, working in a bar in LA somewhere, and you're protecting him. You're not saying his name, but you're going after Manson because there's like millions and millions of dollars, right? Why should we not name the second guy? If this is true and he is that dangerous and he did what she said that he did to her, then my God, then we need to go at him, and see who this person is. So they always go like, well, I'm doing this so other girls don't have to go through it. Ashley Morgan said that. Ashley Walters said that. Esme Bianco said that. I'm doing this so other women don't have to go through the same pain I did. Well, why are you not telling us who the second person is? Weird. It's weird that she just won't. So I'm gonna play I'm trying not to be sad when I'm playing this, but it's something I found from back in the day. And somebody on Instagram sent it to me, so they found it. But I remember when I was watching this on MTV, back when we had MTV, and it was an interview. The Manson was talking about a lot of different topics. Talks about Evan, and I'm like, whoa, what a different, point of view that he had on her. Anyway, probably not anymore. But see, this is the same things that she said. Um, they were so positive. And in one of the articles, she said I made up two videos about I made more videos about Evan than about everybody else. Because she said in an article that not only he ended up raising her and all that, but she felt so safe. And she said that she was listening to him snoring when he was sleeping. I don't know. She talks about sleep deprivation, and she says that she never slept and he never slept anyway. And there's a few articles that you see things like that. And there's another one that was done for GQ magazine, and she talks about how she was collecting the glasses, the heart-shaped glasses, and how she was dressing up as Lolita. So she was like 13 or 12 or 14, way before she met him, and things like this. And that's just like, so it blows my mind that people don't see who the real victim is, and how she had an agenda when she met him, and she learned his songs, and she sang Lunchbox, Marilyn Manson song, at a karaoke band, on a karaoke bar with all the friends, and he fell in love with her. And this is in an interview. They both tell the same story. Um, and he was really down because he was just divorced from Dita, like just now, like 3 months before this, before they met. And so I think that she played very wisely on those insecurities, because he's an insecure person, and he's shy, and I think she played on that. And for me to say, oh no, no, there's no way that she did that, she was only 18 or 18 and a half. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be that ignorant. People forget that children and teenagers and young adults, or young, just teenagers in general, have a lot of power, especially girls. And they can, they can make a lot of stuff up, and they can just get destroyed a lot of lives because they thought something was happening, or they thought this, they thought that. And instead of just going um, with the truth, they just decide to just destroy somebody's life. And this is what Evan is doing. So what I believe, my theory, is that she knew from the beginning. She didn't know from the beginning that she was going to be doing this now. No, that's ridiculous. But when they got together, she knew, she knew where to hit, and she knew his insecurities. Very he was down after he got divorced. It's like a lot of guys, and he was having his, a lot of guys and women too. He was having his midlife crisis, when he met her, and she just came for the kill. That's what I really believe, and I don't see a lot of people on YouTube believing that. Everybody's going to where she's lying, or Esme Bianco was a fetish model, and Ashley Morgan was a sex worker, whatever. I'm actually going to the root of the whole thing, which is Evan. And I'm thinking that she knew what she was doing. Not only she knew what she was doing, but she just milked it and used it, because she wanted to be the next Rose McGowan. She wanted to be edgy. She wanted to have that edge in Hollywood that otherwise she wasn't having, because otherwise she was like kind of like blue, blue eyes, blonde girl next door, not that interesting. She's beautiful. And I'm not trying to say she's ugly. I'm trying to say she's beautiful, but she's very plain Jane. But being Will Manson gave her this edge, and it gave her a different audience for her movies, and it gave her different type of jobs and different type of opportunities that she was seen in a different light. And nobody is going to deny that, because I was there when that was happening, and I was looking at them together on MTV and the Music Awards and all that, and I'd be like, oh my God, this totally makes sense. I didn't think there was nothing wrong with it. I didn't think that he was abusing her. I didn't think that there was nothing pervy about it. I knew that she was really young, and I don't know, but I thought that she was young, and he was having a midlife crisis and going for a younger girlfriend after just getting a divorce. And it's not so rare to see that. But because of Marilyn Manson, it's like, oh my God, what a pervert. But it's not so rare. A lot of men do that. And some women also do that. They go for a younger guy, when they are in their 30s or whatever, well, they just got divorced. They're going through that type of midlife crisis. Oh my God, I'm not sexy anymore, and I'm not cute anymore. So I'm just going to, and so they get somebody younger, they feel younger themselves. And that's what happened to Manson. And I think she played him from the beginning. She admitted she was collecting the glasses, that she was dressing up as Lolita. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with those things, the glasses, the cute outfit. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that she said in her statements that she was being forced to dress a certain way. She was being forced to act a certain way. And it's all just, the more I think about it, the more we all think about it, it's impossible to believe. I think that she thought that this interview, so these articles were just going to go away, but they stay. They stay on the internet. Everything that we do stays on the internet. And even if this was publications like paper magazines that you go to the supermarket by the cash register and you just get it and read it at your house. I remember reading an interview with her in 2008, and I was like, whoa, like she's really cool. Like she's really young, but she's mature for her age. Dumb on me to think that. Dumb. But I'm talking like in the moment, just like with Amber and Johnny, in the moment you kind of believe what the media is feeding you. So this is an audio of him talking about her in 2008. Let's see if I can play it. Come on.
My girlfriend now, Evan, who at the time was someone that I played the song for, and I saw that it really made her feel something, and I felt like for the first time I could feel something. Really, I had nobody in my life. I had no friends. I had nothing. And one of the only people that was friends with me is my girlfriend now, Evan, who at the time was someone that I played the song for, and I saw that it really...
This is from when he did that album, right? Oh, Berlin, 2007. You know, it's whatever. I mean, it is not whatever, but it's just so sad. And I think I really think that she played into his insecurities, his age, his divorce, him, like right there, he's saying not having anybody, not feeling anything until he met her, and just totally took advantage of the situation. And that's it. And then I want to, okay, that's another thing that just like cracks me up. Not cracks me up, but I'm just like, seriously. Remember when she said that she was isolated? She couldn't leave the apartment, and she couldn't talk to her family. He gave her a cell phone, and the cell phone was bugged, and so he was spying on her. He got into her Facebook, her Twitter, her email. This is not me. She said that. She said that on the Phoenix Act statement. He hacked her accounts. She had no life. She was barely, whatever she was doing had to be passed by him. She was working on them with a wrestler, and that's all she did when they were together. That's what she says. That's what she says. She says the whole time they were together, she only worked on her and True Blood. And that has to pass by him. He had to approve what she was doing. Guess what? No. She was also working with her dad and brother, because they're theater family. They come from that background. And her dad, the founder of something called Theater in the Park in North Carolina. And it's pretty cool. Like her dad sounds really cool. So she was in that production in North Carolina while she was with Manson, rehearsing Romeo and Juliet. It's not a joke, Romeo and Juliet, okay, rehearsing for months and months. It's not like she just went and came back. She just went for Thanksgiving, ate some Thanksgiving food and came back and just went back to her jail with Manson. She was there for at least 6 months, rehearsing, hanging out with her family. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with it that you lie about it? So I found that article. It says Evan Rachel returns. I'm going to put the picture on the thumbnail because it's something else. She looks really cute, beautiful. It's funny, her dad looks just like her. She looks just like her dad. And his brother, Evan, and dad in the picture. And then there's some pictures of the stage, some pictures of the rehearsal. And it's all about reuniting with your family and doing what we do best, which is act. And they're treating their theater like it's therapy, and she's so proud of her dad. This is the first time that her brother is going to direct anything. It's all positive, right? You don't seem like you're so isolated and sleep deprived and all that, after all. And so there's this interview that I found on YouTube, of course, on YouTube. Thank God. That is Cecily Russo hosted Second Cinema, had the pleasure of sitting down with Hollywood star Rachel Wood. She was starring Romeo and Juliet with her dad and her brother at Theater in the Park in North Carolina. And this is the interview. Just the sound, but it's enough. She sounds so different. And this is while she was with him.
Is your father's theater,
Yes.
and you're under the direction of your brother Ira. So kind of a family affair.
Definitely, yeah. That was the point. This is the theater I did my first play in. This is the theater I did my last play in.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that it was the same play. First play I did here was Briar Patch, and that was the last play I did. And it was about 13 years ago.
You've come a long way, baby.
Come a long way.
13 years ago.
So yeah, and
at this
Ira and
stage she
I
was
saw a
20.
production of it in '95 when they did it here, and just fell in love with it ever since. And I've been waiting till we got old enough to do it. And I can't imagine a better play to reunite with everybody with.
Oh.
It's a classic.
It is a classic, and it's such a beautiful role for you to be in. How's the experience been so far? Have you done Shakespeare before?
I have. I did A Midsummer Night's Dream when I was 7. But
Of course
but
you did it when you
I
were 7. Oh
my
my
parents were doing Shakespeare constantly, so it
Rolling
was all
my
Shakespeare
eyes.
and Chekhov, in elementary
Okay,
school
all
all
right,
the time. So
Shakespeare,
I'm
lady.
definitely used to it. and
Stop.
used to it.
So you get the point, right? 13 years ago, since she was 7. I did my play when I was 7, 13 years ago. So she's saying that. So she is 20 years old during this interview, and she was with Manson. But she was in North Carolina rehearsing Romeo and Juliet. It's not something that you can do in one night, and being directed by her brother and acting on the stage with her dad. And in a different town, not even in California. So what's up with that? What is up with that, Evan? There's things like that people missed because everybody got so caught up into the gruesome details, and everybody's getting so caught up into defending Manson. And I am actually for it, but I want to try to do it in a way that I'm not trashing anybody. That's what I'm not going to put any unflattering pictures of her. I was going to put a picture of her and her dad and her brother on this. Because I don't want to go on that. And I also don't want to do what I did yesterday. I'm not going to delete it. It's there, but I should have say a disclaimer about the stuff that I was going to talk about, because I end up talking about personality disorders and self-harm and addiction. And I even illustrate the marks that I don't have, but she has, Amber, and they're still on my arm. This is what Amber has. You see it? 3 lines over there. Okay, that's what Amber has, and I'm not bashing her for that. There's the one thing I won't make fun of, but I should have sent some type of post some type of disclaimer yesterday before I start talking about that. I'm not going to talk about self-harm. I'm not going to talk about the R word. RAPE. I'm not going to say it. And I'm going to treat Evan and everybody else as I would treat them if they were not famous, like if it was just a girl down the street. And the reason I'm kind of making fun of her right now, I'm not making fun of the assault that probably did happen with the second person. I'm not making fun of what she was going through growing up or whatever disorder she had. I'm making fun of the fact that she said that she was isolated and not be able to use a phone or a Facebook or an email account. And then she was in North Carolina, rehearsing Romeo and Juliet. So I don't know. So it's just, if I laugh, it's like a nervous reaction to how stupid this is. So I'm not making fun of people. I'm trying to do this in a way that it makes sense from a point of view of just common sense, and not from me saying, oh my gosh, she's such a horrible actress, or oh my God, because she actually is not. And I can say mean things like that. Oh my gosh, she was so skinny. Oh my God, and Amber had all this plastic surgery, and oh my God, I know all the people do that, but I don't want to do that because we're missing the point if I do that, because it's irrelevant. She could be the most gorgeous person in the world. Amber can be beautiful, and she could be but inside, So it doesn't make sense for me to sit here and talk about the plastic surgeries that she had, or whatever even Dado had done with her face or her body. I don't care. The only reason I care about, the only reason I talk about Amber's marks is because it was related to the subject that I was speaking of, and about her blaming him for self-harming, when actually she's the one that does it. That's the only time that I mention it. But I'm not making fun of them. And I'm not making fun of Evelyn Wood either. About her being young, but I do think there's a little bit of manipulation. And when you're that young and you're pretty and you're young, you're pretty and you're young, and you're successful. But even if you were not successful, just being pretty and young, and a guy is in his 40s or 30s, man, was in his 30s, come on now. Like there's this power that we have that is almost like the elephant in the room, and nobody wants to admit to it. But we do. We have it, and we abuse it. I say we because I've already done it too. But I don't go out around, 20 years later or 10 years later or 5 years later, and just because I was ashamed of something I did, I try to make it sound like this the other person's fault. But women have a lot of power, and I'm talking about even if you're not famous, just the way the things we can do. And so it's beautiful, it's beautiful. We can have babies. We can be really good people. We can be really good mothers and girlfriends. But there's this side of a lot of manipulation, a lot of things that we do that I think men don't catch up to it. If that makes sense what I'm saying? Because they are blinded by other things. So that's what is really hard for me to believe, women these days. Probably in the 60s and the 70s, when it was a little bit different, and the complaints or the file, it was different. I mean, there was people getting raped at the job. I said the word right there. Getting assaulted at the job, and, girls getting, shot and stuff. And just, it's different. The feminists back then, I always say, they will laugh at this. They will be like, okay, all right. So you complain because the house was too cold, because he got good drugs and good food, and a good house, and the walls were black. Wow, like that's the worst thing that can happen to you. I think that it will be taken as a joke. If we can travel in time, it will be taken as a joke. I promise you. This takes me to another thing I want to talk about, which it was Manson's latest warrant for his arrest in New Hampshire and the East Coast for something that happened in 2019. And the video operator, female, she's a female. I think this is a coincidence. I don't believe myself. It is not a coincidence. But I'm sure this is not the first time that Manson spits on somebody that is working on a show. I know the fans don't care. And if we get spit on, we don't care, right? But the thing is, okay, done with Evan. This person that filed this report against Manson in 2019, and we're in 2021, she said, it's not going to say she said with this thing, because I don't even know her face. Like whatever. She said that she went there for a job. It was her job. She was not a fan. She was working on that particular night, and she really didn't know much about him. Like, my grandparents knew who Manson was. I'm not joking. They're not around anymore, but they knew who Manson was. They'll make fun of me because they'll be like, "Oh, you like that crazy guy? It's like, it has no eyebrows." My grandpa, he drove me. I just remember he drove me and dropped me off in 1996. Yeah, I was 17. And that was my first Manson concert. And my grandpa gave me a ride to the concert. My grandparents knew who Manson was, okay? And these people saying, I don't know who he was. I was going there to work for him, but I don't know who he was. I don't buy it. I'm rolling my eyes. Again, it's so big from rolling my eyes so much at the back of my freaking head. Come on, my grandfather, okay, from Sicily, straight up, like barely finished school, grandparents. They knew who Manson was. So they knew who Ozzy Osbourne was. They knew about the Columbine shootings. They knew these things. And I'm talking about really like old school people. So for these women to come out of Iran and be like, I didn't know. If I knew, I probably wouldn't have come over. Okay, so the lady, the latest thing against him is that she went to this concert to work, okay, as a female, videographer. And she seems like she was probably from a temp agency. She's not like one of the Manson team people that always shoot his videos. She was just from a different agency. Maybe that's the problem. But she should have done some research. We know, because we know what he does. He does what he does on stage. So she says that in one of the, he was jumping up and down and just spitting, jumping up and down and singing. He purposely, because this is the part that I don't believe. I do believe that he spit, but I don't believe it was on purpose. So it's just kind of like it makes a big, gigantic difference when somebody has intention behind it, or when somebody just doesn't. Was like, oh, well, shit happens. I spit on your camera. Oh, fuck. I can buy a new one. That's probably was Manson's train of thought in that moment. But I don't think he did it on purpose. She said that he did. So she's saying that she was really close, right? She was like in the, where the press is out. Like, you're like right here. We're all here, and the press is here, and Manson is here. So she's the, doing the taking video of the show, blah, blah, blah. Again, she was not one of his main regular camera people. Otherwise, this wouldn't happen. And she said she didn't know. She knew who he was, but she didn't know the extent of what he does on stage, which I think that is more BS. Like I said, my grandpa knew. So I'm just going to keep saying that over and over until it gets in people's heads. Okay, so she said the Manson did spit, right? He kind of like did not like when he just kind of spits out the air when he's singing. He didn't do one of those. He did like something like that, right? Going down. And it got on her camera lens. TMZ actually TMZ put a video of it already. And then she's saying that she said that she brushed it off, like she wiped it. And then some spit also got on her arm. I don't know how the spit got on the camera and on the arm at the same time that he looked at her and laughed. This is what she's saying. It's not what I'm saying. That he looked at her and laughed. So he's looking at her, laughing, spitting, and singing. And doing all this, like he's like multitasking out there. Okay, so that just makes it, the way she made the document like that is to make him really seem so, just Machiavellic, and very like, oh, he did this on purpose. Girl, he barely can see, when he's doing his show. I don't think that he was like, oh, there she is, that one. I don't like her hair, and I'm gonna go and spit on her. No. So then she ran home. Okay, she ran home to her husband. So she left the place. So she left her work. That was her job for the night. So she left. She said she was so traumatized, not traumatized, but such a distress that she had to leave. So you leave. So you're working and you leave because you don't like what's happening at your job. That's the type of person you are. And I'm supposed to like feel bad for her? Are we supposed to feel bad for her? So she left the job, which was Manson, and went home, and she told her husband what happened, and she confided her husband. Now, I don't know how the law goes for New Hampshire, but in California, I'm sorry, but your husband or your significant other, consider it's not really, it cannot be a good witness. And maybe it's different. Maybe she has more under her belt, but the husband said that she was in so much distress, and I'm supposed to believe the husband. Of course, the husband is gonna back her up, especially because she asked for $35,000. So there is no picture or nothing like a doctor notice or something that shows us that he actually spit on her arm on purpose. But there is a video, and you see her lens, and you see he's not going, and he did. Okay, he did it, not on purpose, not. I don't buy it. And also that he laughed. Maybe he was just laughing. It's Manson. He just does these things, And another thing that is BS is, the $35,000. I don't know how did she get that number. Is that how much the lens cost to fix because it got wet? But then, you see, the problem is that she says she wiped it out. She's so dumb. She's stupid. Because if she would have gotten money from the guy, she wouldn't have said that. She would say, oh my God, my camera was barely working the next day. She says she wiped it out and kept going. So if you were able to wipe it and keep going with your job and use that camera in other jobs, that you can't just come and ask for $35,000. That's what I think. My opinion. That freaking dog. I'm in distress right now. That's why I can't do dogs because I can't stand that. Not my dog. I don't do dogs. Anyway, I do cats. Geez. Anyhow, I don't get distracted by people, but dogs drive me crazy. So $35,000. Okay, she's not actually detailing why and for what. Or on what she's going to use the $35,000 if what she requested. The problem is that she didn't follow up. She presented this and she made this. She went to the police station. At least she did. She didn't post it on Instagram. That's because she was not. That's because she's nobody. That's why. Sorry. So she went to the police station and filed this thing against Manson. The police got in touch with the Manson team, Manson people. Manson probably doesn't even know about this until now. I have a feeling that he didn't even know until now. And Howard King, his lawyer, said that at the moment they're trying to take care of it, but she never sent any documents, like evidence or any documents, any statements. Like sometimes you might not have evidence, but you can just sit down with your lawyer and just draft a statement, and that will be considered sometimes, sadly, as all they look at sometimes. It's not evidence, but at least it's a statement. She didn't send none of that. She did not send nothing his way. The police didn't do that. So that's why he didn't do nothing about it, or his team didn't do nothing about it for 2 years. Now she's popping out of the blue, this woman, because everybody's popping against Manson. And she wants $35,000. It's almost like, it shows you how ridiculous this whole thing is. Just like, what else? From the bad girl's room and the cage and the dungeon and the dark paintings opening a satanic portal with the paintings, because that's what he does, right? That's what Manson does. On the corner, and Ashley Walters saying that he locked the parking lot on purpose, and everything. This guy, this is what doesn't make sense about this, and I hope if it goes to court, a judge can see this. How come this guy was a certain way, and then, like in 2010, he went nuts and became this like abuser, just evil bad wolf, and until 2011ish, and then he stopped. No, that's what we have. Good things from Rose McGowan. We have good things from Dita, and a girl named Stoya, a female porn actress that he was with for a while. And everybody has nothing but nice things to say about him. So how did he change so much that he became somebody else from 2010 to half of 2011? No, he didn't. That's the thing, he didn't. He just affiliated himself with the wrong people. And I always say that. There's only one thing that we can hold against him, or not really against him, but hopefully that in the future he will be more careful. I think we all have to be careful on that. He let a lot of people in. He trusts people. He just let them in. Here's a camera, here's a bed, you can stay here. He's like, yeah, and there's videos of him talking about that place in West Hollywood. He talks about the cameras and the paintings and how he wanted to have his little nest with his little friends, and he wanted to collaborate. He wanted to make it like a factory, like his version of Andy Warhol's factory, and collaborate with people. And the dark stuff and all that is a total fabrication and exaggeration of actually what the place was. And there's a couple pictures of the house. It was not really a house, an apartment above something else. There's a liquor store and there's apartment above the liquor store. There's pictures that he took for this really big photographer, famous photographer. I think his name is Peru. Anybody correct me, probably I said it wrong. He's been working, he worked for Billy Corgan, Courtney Love, he worked for Manson for a while, and he did pictures for this book. Super cool. And those pictures were shot in West Hollywood. You can see the color of the walls. Not only you can see the walls, some walls have color, some walls are black, and some walls are blue or red. You know how he's into the red, black, and blue. And their color on the walls, there are different colors of the walls. And also there's a window. In one of the pictures that he's kind of like this, right? There's a hallway, and right here is supposed to be his bedroom. There's a window. I'm not saying, oh my God, jump out of the window, Ashley, and whoever it was. But they said there was no windows, that everything was closed, everything was black. They couldn't see. They had to go around with flashlights. I already read the whole thing. I did a whole video of almost 2 hours, and I read Ashley Walters' document, and it took me a longer time because I was stopping all the time because I found it so preposterous and just like completely freaking ridiculous, bananas, insanity. So yeah, so this woman with the spit, I'm gonna call her the lady with the spit, because I don't know her name. I really don't care about her name. It just proves more of what we've been saying this whole time, that people are just gonna be believed at face value. It don't matter. Just like, I don't know. It's almost like we're back in the 17 or 1800s when you just walk into a court and be like, I don't like this person. This person killed my cow and he had sex with my wife, Prove no, it doesn't matter. And they just get hung or killed in front of everybody. I feel like this is what's happening to Manson right now. It's like it's a witch hunt. There's one person saying something and the other person saying it. Oh my God, yeah. He did this to me, or he did this to me, or I thought he was doing this to me. A lot of this stuff is assumed. And it's like, well, maybe he was doing some of the stuff, but with your permission. And there's a gray area in it. It's not black and white. And I'm not saying Manson is not, he's Manson. And that's it. Is that enough saying Manson is Manson, right? And he does what he does. Can you believe, like, somebody back in the day will tell Kurt Cobain, or anybody like that, Pearl Jam, Kurt Cobain, Courtney Love, Billy Corgan, any of these people, they will complain because, when Kurt Cobain was banging the guitar against the amplifier, a little piece of plastic from the guitar got on my face. Like, did anybody ever did that? Not that I know of. And I've been around for some time. Can you imagine? And also about the spit, he's not the first one or the last one that is gonna do like stuff like that. And I think when I think about it, I know there were no pictures of it and no video of it, but I am sure that Jim Morrison was probably the first spitter out there, and Jimi Hendrix, and Sex Pistols we know because that was pretty obvious in videos and stuff that the guy would just be like, just spit. But I'm sure Jim Morrison did that, and I'm sure Jimi Hendrix and all the people, just like the big rock stars, when they were engaged in what they were doing, is spitting or breaking something or smashing a guitar or burning a flag, is part of the act and it's part of what they do. And people keep forgetting that Manson has a job, and his job is to be Manson and to create art that he likes and that we will like, but also mostly for himself. But he still has that job. It's a job. So, like, what would you get in trouble? I remember Eminem. Was it Eminem? Another rapper back in the day. I remember they did spit in concerts. And one thing is, Oh God, that weird guy that I can't stand. That people think he's punk rock now. That Machine Gun Kelly guy, the tall guy with the bleach hair. He spits like a maniac, and he does it in videos too, and it's gross. It's gross to me because I don't like him. But I don't think he gets crucified for that. Green Day, yes, Green Day. What was Billy Joe? Not Billy Joe. Billy Joe from Green Day, from the band Green Day. Okay, he used to spit all the time. So, what are we gonna do? Like, we're just gonna like sue everybody that ever did anything that it made us a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe we have to start. We are uncomfortable all the time, and just that goes to Evan especially, and to Esme, and to Ashley's, the two Ashleys, and the girl, the lady with the spit. Like Madonna says, maybe life is not too hard, just people are too soft. I think people are too soft. And I'm not saying that you deserve to be spit on. Oh, you know what you're going through. Well, especially because it was a job, she should have known where she was going to work at. Okay, if I'm working as a makeup artist and I get a lot of crap on my apron because I have a lot of makeup on me and stuff just gets on me, I can't complain. If I work as a waitress and I get burned once in a while with a hot plate, I can't. I mean, yeah, I can complain, but it's part of the job, and that's how I feel. That if you are a person who takes pictures or videos on rock concerts, oh, she's lucky she didn't go. She's lucky they didn't send her to Ozzy, because Ozzy spits, and also Ozzy Osbourne gets a bucket with water that I'm sure is cold and dumps it on people. And I'm seeing him doing this. I didn't see it live, but I said on TV of him doing this on the Ozfest. He would just actually have a bucket of water and dump it on the fans. Ozzy spit, he threw water at people. Billy Corgan smashed so many guitars, not even possible to even count. Courtney Love smashing guitars, smashing microphones. It's just what they do. It's a job, and we gotta stop. We gotta stop being so hypersensitive with everything. But anyway, so I just want to go on that. I want to say about Evan that I just don't believe a word she's saying, and I actually never did. From the beginning, I never did, and I knew from the beginning that she was talking about. Like when she was doing the thing with the Phoenix Act with Esme Bianco, I was like, oh man, this sounds like something that she might just go Manson about this later, and then she did. So I'm sure I'm not the only, but I'm not reinventing the wheel and discovering America here. But I think because he's just a really easy target, and it's very sad that when you see interviews of him in videos, and he made a whole video just for her, and everything he says is positive about all of them, even Dita, and even when he jokes around and grabs Dita's butt, on those interviews or whatever, and you see her just okay. It's just they were married. I mean, I don't know, just grabs your husband's butt if you're married. Yes, you can. So he was always playful like that. So I don't know how you go from playful and being a little bit weird and jump around on stage and be loud to just be this just big wolf, and all these ladies, and all these helpless little ladies just running around like it's the 1800s, like I'm telling you. And, there's a court, and it's a due process in court for a reason. And there's not only the police. There's so many. It's not just the police. People always go like, just call the cops. Call the cops. A lot of people, a lot of us, I don't like that either. We don't like calling the cops, and we try not to call the cops. But if you're in that situation, there's other things you can do. You don't have to necessarily call the cops. So you call somebody else. You can call a social worker. You can walk into a gas station and say, I need help with this, this, and that, and they will do it for you. You can go to the emergency room and talk to a social worker, not a police officer. So when I heard this, they didn't call the police because if Manson knew they called the police, he was going to get more angry. There's other ways to do it. You don't have to necessarily call the police, make it all so dramatic. Seriously, there's a lot of ways. They didn't do it because it wasn't happening, period. And if it was happening, it was happening with somebody else. And I'm still waiting for Evan to name this person that did it, the second person. If we say he was the first, let's say the second person. I don't know. And I cannot just go to every bar in town and go ask around who the person is. But I'm sure he's out there. And if she really cares about women and girls and people in general and about what could happen to us out there, she should be naming the guy and taking him to court for damages. Another thing, that word is funny, that little word, damages. So, because when they sue for damages, this is pretty much a fancy way to say cash. Damages is the rich way to say cash. The lady with the spade is suing for damages. Ashley Walters is suing for damages because she said that after she got fired, she couldn't work in LA anymore. He ruined her reputation, so she lost jobs and stuff. I don't believe that either. And even if that was a little bit true, she was not really poor either, because she made the mistake to post so many pictures on Instagram of her traveling all over the universe. So no, not really low income there, Ashley. And also she's suing for damages. Esme Bianco suing for damages. So every time you sue for damages, and you're just gonna look like you're not doing it for the right reasons, you're not doing it to help women, you're not. And the moment that you accept the money, even if it's tempting, I guess it's tempting to accept the money if he's trying to settle and give you the money. If you're really a victim and this messed up stuff really did happen to you, this torture and everything, you don't settle for money. Like you just can't. So even if any money, even if his team or anybody tries to settle, if any of them settle for the money, this is gonna be more of what we think, that they're full of it. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad for him, because then again, the dude trusts his people so much. He got these people into his house. He gave them cameras. He took them in trips all over the place. You saw go on Ashley's Instagram, Esme Instagram, before she deleted everything, and it was all Manson concerts backstage and trip to Japan and China and whatever, and France and Germany. And it's almost like Amber, her friends, staying in the penthouses for free. It's the same thing. It's rock and roll is a different thing, but it's the same thing. This is like getting news. It's getting free shit. It's called getting free shit. That's another way I can put it that more proper. Just taking advantage of people. And it can be a penthouse, it can be a movie role, it can be straight up cash, or it can just be connections, or it can be traveling all around the world. Ashley Walters does not look like she's been struggling. So the damages, suing for damages, every time that you hear that or you read that, suing for damages. Yeah. I mean, if you were so damaged mentally, physically, emotionally, mentally, first you have to prove that you were. And let's say somebody did these things to you, that you don't ask for money. You just want to see the person behind bars. That's what I will want if this happens to me. I would want to see the asshole behind bars. And just bad things happening to him. That's the way I don't know. It's not bad to say, I guess, but it's not even about revenge. But if you were really hurt, if you weren't, you're not sure. Oh, he crossed the boundaries, but I say no, but he did it anyway. Oh, but I'm not sure. That is not going to count as statements that you're not sure. I think Esme Bianco said something like that. Like she wasn't sure if this was all right, but she did it anyway. Just the moment that you put that word in your statement, I wasn't sure, but it makes you look like a liar. Like really, just. So yeah, that's what I want to make a video on Manson, because I was only talking about Johnny, and I feel like I'm cheating on the other one. But no, it's just that it's closer to my heart, I guess, for a lot of reasons, and to the things that I experienced. And I'm telling you, when I said that my grandpa dropped me off to watch Antichrist Superstar, I swear, I'm serious. So for them to say they don't know who this guy is, they never heard of him, or they heard, the initials MM, or they hear maybe they listen to the Dub Show or whatever, The Beautiful People, a couple of times, but they really didn't know how bad he was. It's just a bunch of BS. And also on the thing on Evan, I don't know if anybody follows. I shouldn't, but I do. Just to watch, just to see the stuff that she posts, and it's, my God, the delusion. Their delusion. She's posting stuff. I'm talking about Evan Ridgewood. She's posting stuff about how hard it is to be a single mother, and stuff like that. And she posts things on her story about narcissistic abuse. And I'm like, oh my God, my eyes are so big. Jeez, because she is the abuser. This is the way I've been seeing it from the get-go. With Amber, I didn't from the get-go. With her, yes. With Evan, yes. Because I won't say provoke him, but she, because he's responsible for what he did. It's not like she put a gun to his head. But she provoked him. She provoked him in a way that it got into his head, into his places, and his insecurities, and his age, and he's feel like a loser. His marriage is a failure, blah, whatever. The record, wasn't that good as he thought it was. Because I remember it was a really bad, not a bad time for him, but it was probably the lowest that we can, that he even said that it was the lowest point. He didn't have anybody. And his mom was just diagnosed with something. She was still alive, but she was kind of not there. And all these bad things were happening. And then Evan came into his life and gave him inspiration again. That sounds pretty good to me. Like, it sounds like a pretty good deal, And then she talking about how safe he made her feel, and how he inspired her so much. And he was supportive of the fact that she wanted to make music, which is, she never really made music. She just goes around and does little covers of somebody else's songs, but whatever. I can't help it. I really can't. And it's not a goal, jealousy or nothing like that, or envy. It's really, I don't like the fact that these women, they used to be girls, go around just lying through their teeth and just and manipulating men or whoever, but mostly men in this case, and they have power, and they're trying to tell you that they don't have power, but they do. The power that we have is something that even some women are not even with it, but we do. And the fact that she was young, and the fact that she totally researched him, she knew what to do. She knew how to dress like. She knew to sing his songs, and she learned his songs, because I am sure that she wasn't maybe naturally listening to him. I think she learned it kind of what Amber did with Manson. Amber did with Johnny. Sorry, I gotta go. See, when I start confusing names like this, it means I have to go. And to leave on a good note, I'm not gonna in that interview with him again, talking about Evan, because it's really quite sad. This little clip of Evan Ridgewood talking about how, I already played the one that she's, she was working with her brother and her dad in North Carolina at the same time that they were just getting engaged in North Carolina, rehearsing Romeo and Juliet, not isolated at all. And then there's a video that I found that Evan Ridgewood speaks out on sexual assault. She made this video in 2017, so nobody was named yet, but I had a feeling since then that she was gonna go for that. And in this video, she sounds like a politician, like she really does. And I'm playing it only to illustrate how gossipy and how much drama these people love, and how it's not the way to do it. And the advice that she's giving to us, anybody, is just horrible. And I don't know who she thinks, really, if there's a narcissistic picture next to the word narcissistic, is right there. And it's just,
What
we should be doing is
Oh, I'm sorry. And this whole thing has music behind it. I was just like, turn it up, really up then. And I won't talk, I won't interrupt. It has music behind it. So it's like very dramatic because they want you to believe her and they want you to think that she is a damsel in distress. And they have this music like something is about to happen. Like, ooh, what's about to happen? And nothing was happening because it's 2017 and she has not named nobody. And she's not planning to name the second guy either, I think. Otherwise, she, you know what. And this thing they're asking her, since that she was in his house, she was, I don't know, she's in some casual type of situation. This was on Instagram. And she made this little video in 2017 about sexual assault. And the way she talks and the things that she said at the end are so just strange to me. Like I would never say that to my kids or to anybody. I mean, it's just crazy.
asking the right questions, talking about rape culture, talking about abuses of power. People are wondering why more women didn't come forward sooner, and why in a lot of these cases, one woman will come out or multiple women will come out and then the floodgates are open. People are wondering why women don't come forward sooner or why they come out in numbers. It's because it's safer. They do not feel safe enough to do so, period. And I'm guilty of this as well because I have not named my abusers.
The music.
Not because I don't plan on saying these people's names eventually, but because to start that process is an emotionally draining, financially draining,
Financially.
really everything draining thing to do and to go through.
She said, I guess I'm not going to order the pizza. I was going to order it. I will order the pizza tomorrow. That's how she's talking about it. And it's just like something that happened to your body if this happened. And she said, my abusers, plural, little S at the end, more than one. And she still, and what she says after is ridiculous. Like, seriously, I know it's hard to listen to. But it's the music, the way they're presenting this to you. And Instagram is very, very guilty of that because they don't have any type of limits. You can just go and say whatever. The music in the background, it kills me. It's like a freaking movie. And she really thinks she is high up in the sky. She's riding her unicorn or something.
And I want to do it when I have.
I'm going to pass that again.
When I'm ready.
When I'm ready.
Thing to do and to go through. And I want to do it when I have. When I'm ready. Re-traumatizing yourself to go after the person that assaulted
What
you
was that
takes
pause?
quite a toll. It is a terrifying thing to have to go through. Women in the industry, women all over the world, tell people. Tell people. Tell your colleagues. Tell your friends. Tell everybody their names. And then it's up.
Okay. I think I already did this in another video. You see what I'm going through with this? You see how stupid that is, what she just said? Tell people. Again, it's like, it's like the witch hunt. It's just tell people. Let's tell people. Let's tell people. I already said in another video that I know a girl that used to be a model. She used to be a model, not me. She died because she told people. She didn't tell the cops. She didn't tell her family or her. So that is not a really good advice, even right there. And the way that she's talking about it, and that music in the back is ridiculous. But she says, tell people. Tell people. No, that's not how that, I guess you can tell people after you report it, but you still have to, she's pretty much saying, just gossip about it. It's going to turn out good. Just gossip. Just follow my advice. It's pretty bad. I'm not looking for her for advice, but I wonder if it's, young people, young girls watching this stuff back in 2017 and seeing her as this model right here, this role model, that when she thinks she speaks for everybody, she's not speaking for me. Just like Amber, I don't care. They can go to court and they can just write a bunch of Phoenix Act and a bunch of things. They can go pass it in Congress. These people are not representing me as a woman survivor. So I don't care whatever the way she wants to put it with a little dramatic music. The media put these two, Amber and her, so high up on their victimhood, and they dwell on the victim mentality to the point that I don't even think that they know if it happened or not, because it's so messed up. And well, this one probably does know that it didn't, but tell people, what the heck?
Up to us to not work with these.
Okay, I know the context of that. She's talking about Harvey Weinstein, which I know that it's a piece of shit, and I'm all for Rose McGowan and everybody that named him. Not her. Rose did. This one did it. She just jumped on the train. But talking about Harvey Weinstein, yes, totally, yes, right. He even knows he's guilty. He even admitted it's horrible pig situation, evil. So what she's trying to say is like, you can tell people, so it's up to us not to work with these people in Hollywood. That, okay, I can agree on that, but then she's kind of speaking more in a general way to just girls around the world, or whoever has an Instagram account can listen to this, and it's pretty damaging.
People, if you know, that's where it starts. Spread that shit around. And this is to all my lovely men out there.
Spread the shit.
Ask the ladies in your life if they have any stories, because I think you'll be shocked to know that every single one of them has one. I'm here to tell you that I'm afraid.
Gosh, it doesn't even take a body language expert to just, it's laughable. When she said that, I'm here to tell you I'm afraid, she did this at the end. She's like, she smirked. I wish she's probably did it on purpose or not, but anyway, she's telling you to spread this shit around and to tell people and to gossip. And this is not the first time that I hear her saying this. This is one of the ones that was up there on my...
To know that every single one of them has one. I'm here.
And and that's a point that that's a valid point. Yes, every single one will have a little story to tell, and I think that goes for men too. So that's like the one thing I agree with the stupid crap that she's saying, that if you start asking around, you'll be surprised because everybody has a story. Yeah, most people have a story, women or men, but most women have some type of assault story. It sucks though, but that is not what you do. You don't go and tell people. Like I said before, you can get murdered if you tell people. If I'm thinking about it a different way, because I think I have more maturity on my finger, this finger, than her. And I actually know, I don't know this person that wasn't my best friend or anything, but it's a person from town that got killed because she told people. Because she did what Evan is telling people to do. She gossiped. She didn't tell me, but she told all the people that I know. And other people told people. And other people told people. And other people told people. And what happens is it got to the boyfriend. It got to the boyfriend. And the boyfriend assaulted her, killed her, and threw her down out the window. It's not a joke. This is a girl that worked for Smashing Pumpkins and Smashing Pumpkins video. And the reason that we all know is because Billy Corgan posted on his Instagram. And that is somebody who actually died because she was telling people. And the people she was telling, they were not saying, okay, well, let's go. I give you a ride to the police station. You don't want to go alone. I go with you. What can I do for you? I help you out. Those people were not doing that. Those people were gossiping with other people. And then they were in the club, and then it got this, and then and eventually got to the guy who was doing these things to her, and he got her. And it's just that is only one story, and I'm not making it up, but you can find probably so many stories of people that told people uh, and gossip about it and posted on Instagram. Oh yeah, I just got, if I have a problem and I go on my Instagram and I just put like, oh yeah, this guy did this, or my mom did this, whatever, my friends are gonna call me and say, first, delete that shit. Let's go. I pick you up. Let's go take care of it. No, a person doesn't like, if you are kind of okay in the head, I'm not all there, right? But okay in the head a little bit, you know that going to posting things on social media or gossiping around with your friends is not the way to do things. When it comes to stuff like this, it's not like, well, somebody just stole my CD, or this person just like took my computer. No, if we're talking about physical stuff and assault, no, don't tell people. So just, I know I said it 100 times before because I have this video on my bookmarks, and there's more videos of her Instagram where she's saying, oh my God, endless things just to feed her ego, pretty much, and it's not like she's not helping anybody. And when we think about her, we think about her. Amber didn't help anybody either. Well, the money that she was going to donate to domestic violence survivors, she didn't do that either. So then just this is like a cycle, of these women in Hollywood doing this. And I'm not saying they all know each other. Well, they do. Actually, the Marilyn Manson girls do know each other, but they're not just going, sitting around underground, wearing witch hats and stuff. They're being actually backed up by publications and lawyers and a certain agenda. They're being back. I always say this would not even roll for a month if it wasn't a lot of people backing them up. And that's just like where, I don't know, that's a whole different thing, political thing I'm not going to go into. Somebody told me the other day about Angelina Jolie. I'm not going there. Something about something, about her saying something that Brad Pitt did something, and using it against him. That's one that I'm not going to mess with. So if that comes about, then I'm sure the YouTube channels are going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Until then, I am not going to talk about AG because it's a whole, that is just, it's too much power, that person. So, and maybe there's something behind it, maybe not. Maybe it's just people are just being so paranoid, and everybody is kind of into this like, oh my God, all these women manipulating men in Hollywood. Maybe this one is doing it too. So we gotta be careful not to jump into all men are bad, all women are bad, all women are assholes, all women are bitches, all men are assholes. But I'm not gonna talk about Angelina Jolie. Please don't ask me again. I'm scared. I'm telling you that I'm scared of Angelina. No, yeah, for real. It's like it's just I'm not gonna just run my mouth on something that I haven't like read about or watched or listened to or learned, or something that it didn't happen to me or to other people. Like I said, this girl that got murdered. So if I can apply it to my own life, and if I can just say it from a point of from a place of truth, then I'll talk about it. But I don't really relate to Angelina. And nothing that she has said hit me in any type of way yet. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm mostly governments, and because I think that somebody has to, and I'm so thankful. There's a lot of people on YouTube, and the YouTube community is fucking awesome. And there's people from all over the world that have YouTube channels talking about Manson, and it's great. And even if there's 2 people watching it or 3, it doesn't matter. It's so great. And the Instagram pages, oh my God, like I have to on it because they keep me alive as people. I Stand by Manson. There's one that is awesome. There's I am chaos number one. That one, these guys are crazy. And what happens usually is that they put they post so much good stuff that they get deactivated. They get deactivated a lot, so they always have like two of their accounts just in case, because they keep getting canceled. You can get canceled on Instagram too. And there's Mobscene, Manson Mobscene, and there are Chaos, and there's Brian Warner One, Stand by Your Manson. Those would be pretty good people. And Stand by Your Manson, they put like documents and stuff. I don't know where they get it from, but they post documents and stuff, and I follow all of them. And then the YouTube channels everybody knows about. Just come on, man. Don't do what Evan spread that shit around. Did you like? What is your worth? Like, in order for you to say shit. So what happened to a woman where they got raped or they got something done to physical to them is shit, you know? So maybe I'm just taking it so much into, I'm being so literal, but it's an actress. It's somebody who's supposed to be smart. She reads scripts all the time and she learns and she's a good actress. Why she talks like that? Spread the shit around.
These people, if you know, that's where it starts. Spread that shit around. And this is to all my lovely.
Okay, anyway. Yes. She stressed me out, man. I'm gonna make some tea. Okay, thank you for watching me rant about this. And I'm gonna come back with Ashley Morgan and some stuff on Ashley Morgan that is very peculiar about. And this is stuff that I'm not imagining. I'm not getting it from any type of like secret source. This is stuff that's on the internet out there. All you gotta do is look for it and read it. Just some weird inconsistency with her case and the pictures that she posted and the stuff that they were saying and how the dates don't match because Manson was already with Lindsay, which is his wife, when Ashley was saying all this stuff was happening. So I don't know. I'm sure the lawyer is taking all that into consideration. These people don't know that, for example, when you take a picture, there's a date, on the, it's forever dated right there. So you can't say the bruise or whatever of Manson's dark paintings in 2009, September 2009, and then he was with Lindsay in the house in October 2009. I mean, just things like that got me about those documents, because we know that he was with her, and yeah, they were on and off, but there's so many inconsistencies also about the place in West Hollywood, his apartment, about the liquor store, and about the parking lot, and about what's in there. I'll tell you in another video what's there and what's not. You'll see that she could easily walk to the gas station. I know, might not be so glamorous to walk to a gas station half naked at 3 in the morning or whatever she's saying that happened. But if you really want help, you do it. And there's something that she could have done and she didn't do because maybe she was too high or because the assault never happened, or both. So that's Ashley Walters. Now I'm going to come back on that when I have more energy on me, because Evan Rachel Wood just sucks me dry. I just can't believe that as a person who is smart, the person who works in theater and works in Hollywood for so long and who has a brain, she is just lying to herself like this and just doing this and lying to everybody else and saying to people, a lot of girls and a lot of women follow her on Instagram just to learn, just to see what she has to say. And then this is what she gave them. Spread the shit around and gossip. It's pretty sad. I don't know who's been watching. I don't know if it's the same before, or my connection has been kind of messed up. I can't see anything. Anyway, send me a comment if you want to. And I'm gonna go now. Thank you.